special broadcast. We call it touch stream for the time being, which is perfectly fine. You can add the category because I know I'm going to be gaming. I'm going to put this under esports and gaming, and you can select your source. Now remember, whatever you name your source, you want to select that. So you can see here, I have the test stream. I'm going to select that for myself. It's going to take a second to load. Once it loads, you can see it's working perfectly fine here, which is awesome. So you can mess with some additional settings like who do you want to see this, your audience to be public, private, and also who wants to be in chat. It can be a new one, verified users, my subscribers. For me personally, I'm going to set to everyone, and then you can allow hearts, so allow that for the time being, and then you can start immediately or start later. And there's some additional settings like if you want to encrypt your stream, and just recommending coding settings. If you want to copy this, you can. I'm just going to leave this as the same stream coding and settings I use for Twitch. Now that it's created our broadcast, what you want to do is start scroll all the way back up, and you can see this thing called post. So we're going to click on post, and what we can do is name our stream something. So what this is going to do is going to create like a little tweet for yourself. So we're going to say, so you can just name it whatever you want for my time being. I'm going to name this as my tweet. But of course, if you're actually streaming to Twitter professionally, you want to name it whatever you want to do. So you can put like your Twitches in there, or your YouTube, or your tags for what you're planning to do this stream. That's my tweet. But of course, if you're actually streaming to Twitter professionally, you want to name it whatever you want to do. So you can put like your Twitches in there, or your YouTube, or your tags for what you're planning to do this stream. You can do exactly that. And once you're good, all you have to do is click post. Now you might not get a notification off the rep. What we'll probably do though, if you go to your homepage area on Twitter,
and targeting the dynamic monthly hedge pressure down here where my buy limit is. And since I've been in this trade, it has just basically bounced around the Asia Open print and shown no further willingness to pick a direction here. Do you think volume profile is reliable? Reliable. It depends on what you mean by reliable, and I'm not trying to just get out of answering that question, but if you mean reliable, like does it show you where high volume nodes were during the session? Yeah. Now, is it reliable in the sense that you can frame consistently frame edge and find edge trading that? Mixed bag, in my opinion. I think some people have had a lot of success with it, and I think a lot of people have not had success with it. But different strokes for different folks. That's just my opinion. T. Woot says, hey, Brad, on the payout of 1K, is that a one-time payout or just what you can take out at a time? It's what you can take out per payout. The max you can take out on the 25K accounts is $1,000. And I will say this about Lucid. Lucid pays you out within a minute. It hits my bank account. As soon as I click request withdrawal and I put in the amount that I'm withdrawing and I hit confirm, before I can count to 60 seconds, the money has gone into my bank account. All of these payouts that I've gotten on Lucid, they were all within my bank within 60 seconds. They are incredibly fast at paying out. The payout speed with Lucid is unmatched. I don't know of another prop firm that pays out that fast. There is no buffer on the Flex account, the Lucid Flex. There is no buffer. No. The 50K max payout, I think, is $1,500. I'm short biased only because I'm expecting a kind of inventory correction from the massive gap fill up from the previous day, and we're approaching a former higher time frame. We're approaching a former higher time frame slop fest where there was a lot of resistance and support over like 5.5 months. And so I am anticipating that even if we can get up there into this little region, we should see selling pressure from there. It's not to say that tomorrow won't be bullish in the New York session. Again, this is just for my overnight bias right now. I think we could see a lower wick, a lower daily wick put in, and then perhaps a new daily high in the New York. And then Wednesday, maybe we see some consolidation up, and we just kind of get choppy. Instead of just pushing through here, I could make a case for Tuesday high, Wednesday, and then Thursday we just kind of chop around in this range. I don't know that we're just gonna suddenly just keep ripping for all-time highs from this location. We spent so much time on the daily time frame, on these higher time frames, weeks and months inside this, and we're approaching that mid-range of all that slop right now. So from a higher time frame perspective, that is where I would expect some selling pressure to step back in. And we do have PPI data tomorrow. That's correct. Whoa! 1111, baby. I see 1111 on the I can't really see specifically. It just says 1.1. Can anybody see a specific like? I see 1100. 1111. I say it's close enough. Let's go. Let's go, 1111. All right. We're giving away another account. Whoop, 1200, baby. Hell yeah. That's 2 nights in a row of 1200. Thank you, chat. Thank you, community, for showing up and supporting the channel. Type in right now. Let me reset the bot. Type in 1111. 1111 is the code. 1111. That's the code, baby. Type it in. We're giving away a Lucid 50K Pro account right now. Type it in. Lucid 50K Pro account right freaking now. Let's go. My throat is getting really sore. I hope I'm not losing my voice.
Chasing ghosts of trades gone wrong. You mapped it out, you know the way. But fear keeps talking louder every day. Edges clean, signals tight, a scooter flashing green tonight. No more talking, no more shade. You know what you gotta do today. You just gotta take that trade. Oh yeah. Stop the doubt, don't let it fade. Rocket scooter got it made. You just gotta trade. Oh yeah. Take that trade.
Guys, you don't have to spam it. You don't get multiple entries. You only get one entry. So if you type it like 10 times, cool. But if you type it 50 times, the mods will put you in timeout. All right? Just type it one time. China, Hong Kong about to come online here. Not China, but well, I guess China too. 6 more minutes. We'll see if we could get some volume. See if we can get some volume pushing this thing lower here. Ultimate Flow Objects. I know, dude. We had 1,200 viewers in here earlier, and we're up to 1,200 likes. The second night in a row, we had over 1,200 concurrent viewers, and we hit 1,200 likes. Community is showing up, man. They're finding out about the rocket scooter community. They're finding out about the night shift. They're finding out about the silver gray fox host sitting in the chair behind the mic, giving in those little squinty bedroom eyes while he talks about trading, listening to some sexy jams. Why people trade after hours? Well, Tranquil Mind Official. Honestly, the last like 3.5 weeks in the Asia session have been bae. Like, they have been on fire. They have been getting more movement at times than a New York session. Very clean trades. Yes, Zin Supernova is correct. Also with the gorgeous wifey as well. Hey, did you take a good trade? I've taken one good trade tonight, and I'm trying to get another good trade currently. Drops has us by a lot. Drops, are you 70? This guy says dumpy dumpin' bae. Butt up. Come on. ES, take us lower so that NQ will follow you, please. Butt up. 61. If you're 61, if I was 5 years older, I'd be 56. There's no way you could be my dad. You would only have been 6 years old. That's weird. Oh my gosh.
Over time, they're not long, short the market. They're buy, close. Making stuff, and then finally, supply is outpaced demand. So stock shelves are a thing, and when shelves are stocked.
All the way back in 2023, the Conservative government, then led by Rishi Sunak, introduced the Renters Reform Bill, aimed at improving renting for tenants by, among other things, abolishing no-fault evictions, establishing a private rented property portal and giving tenants the in 2023, the Conservative government, then led by Rishi Sunak, introduced the Renters Reform Bill, aimed at improving renting for tenants by, among other things, abolishing no-fault evictions, establishing a private rented property portal, and giving tenants the right to request a pet. However, this bill didn't make its way through Parliament as planned, with it being scrapped by the Labour government upon their election victory in 2024. Labour instead introduced their own Renters' Rights Bill, which introduced their own provisions aimed at improving life for tenants, while carrying over some of the provisions from the Renters' Reform Bill. By late 2025, this bill had made it through Parliament, with 440 MPs voting in favour at the second reading, and 111 voting against. In order to give stakeholders, such as landlords, time to adjust the new rules, they're being gradually introduced, with many taking effect from the 1st of May, and further changes being rolled out later in the year. So in this video, we're going to explain what's changing, how this will affect both being rolled out later in the year. So in this video, we're going to explain what's changing, how this will affect both tenants and landlords, and whether the changes will actually improve the renting situation in the UK.
There are many rifts in the UK at the moment, between the grads and the non-grads, between the young and old, and the north and the south. Each of these rifts is having a profound effect on the political fabric of the which
The housing crisis has made life significantly harder, not just for those who are trying to get on the housing ladder, but also for those that rent. In 1980, only around 10% of people privately rented their homes. This figure remained relatively stable throughout the 90s, but since the 2000s, the proportion of people privately renting has essentially doubled to 19%. In London specifically, the proportion of people renting has also doubled, from 16.6% in 1981 to 30.1% by 2021. This means that more and more people are, rather than using their income to acquire an asset, as is the case when paying off a mortgage, handing over a huge portion of their paycheck to a landlord. In fact, analysis by the Home Builders Federation shows that the UK has the most number of people over
over days, weeks, months, in the case of Vietnam, over years. And he wants to figure out why.
overburdened by housing costs in Europe, which they define as anyone who pays more than 40% of their income on housing. Back in 2011, 15.8% of the population were overburdened by housing, and by 2020, this had risen to 19.9%. However, despite the significant 2020, this had risen to 19.9%. However, despite the significant uptick in the number of renters in the last few decades, and the economic consequences that have resulted, the last time that the private rented sector was substantially reformed was back in the 80s. Labour are hoping that their new Renters' Rights Act, passed in 2025, will address some of these concerns and strike a better balance between the rights of tenants and the rights of landlords. So how exactly does it do this? Firstly, it ends assured short-hold tenancies. Now, since the late 1980s, this was the most common form of tenancy, and usually specifies a rental term of between 6 and 12 months. One of the main issues with these